Hello, and thank you for watching the Free Thought channel. That is the former name. I've officially changed the name, both in the actual YouTube.
Hello, and thank you for watching the Free
Let me
Thought
cut
channel.
this off. I'm sorry.
That is the former name.
So I've officially changed the name, the Scott Report, and I did this for several reasons. For those of you who have been watching me for a while, you've seen the Scott Report, basically featured as a product of the Free Thought channel. So I just decided, along with the development of some other channels, to just call it the Free Thought channel. I mean, wow. See how I made that mistake? It's been the Free Thought channel since I set it up. Man, like 5 or 6 years ago. So old habits die hard. Anyway, I've decided to change it to the Scott Report officially. And I've done this for several reasons, primarily because the Scott Report, it goes with my government name, obviously. My name is Michael Scott. But more importantly, I can cover a wide variety of issues, not just issues related to free thought. And free thought really covers everything, but the Scott Report keeps it basically like an opinionated journal where I can just cover issues that I am interested in. So with that said, I want to thank you once again for watching. If you have not decided to subscribe to the channel, please do. If you would like, I would very much appreciate it if you shared the channel, shared my views with family, friends, and people that you think might be interested in show topics that I discuss. And, give me a thumbs up if you like the content. I would really appreciate that. If you don't like the content, if you think that I can improve on some things, then I also would appreciate some feedback. Go into the comment section and say, hey, Mike, I really wasn't feeling that last topic. And I want you to change a few things. I'm sending out some text messages to some folks that were supposed to join me on a call tonight on vibrate, so I won't be disturbed. But I'm also going to send some messages out to say, hey, even though you can't join me, like we talked about, you can at least watch the channel tonight. So that's what we're doing. Now, in addition to changing the name of the channel, I am also going to change the format somewhat. On the Scott Report, I'm going to cover a wide variety of topics. They're not just going to be limited to politics, which I got to admit, I was guilty of that in the past. Being former chair of the Democratic Party in my county and active in politics all my life, old habits are, they die hard, right? So like I said before, so I've been focusing on politics a lot, especially during the last presidential campaign. I'm getting away from that. The Scott Report is going to report on everything. It's going to report on health. It's going to report what's happening with this current health pandemic we have. It's going to report on politics, obviously, but it's also going to report on things that, deal with other topics, history, controversial subjects, obviously conspiracies. It's going to cover every topic that I like, that I love, that I'm familiar with. And I'm going to challenge myself to cover some topics that I'm not familiar with, because it's always good to challenge ourselves in that regard. So with that said, I want to, again, thank you for watching my channel. I want to ask you to continue to support the channel. I'm going to provide some very good content as always. And with that said, let's just jump right into the topic tonight. So I did not decide to do a title page for this topic, but I'm going to go back and edit it and do that. And this is a good segue into a book that some of you may have heard of. It's called Slavery by Another Name. Now, my topic has nothing to do with the slavery of African Americans in the United States and around the world, mainly the Western Hemisphere. I'm not going to cover that issue, even though I have a book that deals with that issue laying here on my desk. I'm going to use this kind of like a prop to discuss another form of slavery. And that form of slavery is wage slavery. Some of you who know me and have seen some of my other videos have seen me talk about the fact that entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur in America is probably the best thing that anybody can do. Start your own business. And let me just give you one concrete example to think about. When you work for someone in a 9-to-5 job capacity, and it can be a manufacturing job in a plant, or it can be a great job as a doctor in a hospital, right? If you regard being a doctor as being a great job, some people do, some people don't. The point is that job has requirements on you. You have to be there at a certain time. Typically, you have a boss, right? You have policies and procedures you have to follow. And then when you get your paycheck, every week, every 2 weeks, once a month, whatever, the government gives you what's left. See, when you are an employee in America, the government takes taxes. They take taxes. You don't pay taxes. They take the taxes. And then at the end of not even the end of the year, the following year, you get to file tax forms to basically plead with the government to say, hey, those taxes you took, that money you took out of my paycheck, I need some of that back because what you didn't factor in was blah, 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 blah. Okay. You file taxes before you're an adult, you get it, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. You get your W-2, and then you hope for a refund because they took too much of your money. They took too much of your money. Let's flip that. When you are a business owner, something else happens because America was designed for business owners and for business people, believe it or not. And this example I'm giving you is a concrete example and proof of that process. Again, when you are an employee, the government takes taxes. When you are a business owner, you pay taxes. And typically how that works is simple. All through the year, you collect the money from your business, your service, or your products. And let's just say that number is $100,000, hypothetically speaking. At the end of the year, you look at how much money you made in income, and now you have the opportunity to look at your books and say, well, I made 100,000, but I spent 10,000 on materials for my business, whatever those materials are. Then you might say, well, I spent 5,000 on fuel for my vehicles. And I spent another $3,000 on legal services, whatever. The point is, you have the opportunity now to look at your income and subtract what it took for you to earn that income. And then, based on what's left, you then can say to the government, hey, here's what's left. I have made my income, right? I've paid my income or I've paid my taxes. Here's what's left. And out of that, this is what I should be taxed on. That's how it works when you own your own business versus when you work for someone. This is kind of boring, right? You might say, talking about taxes. I'm not spending the conversation tonight talking about taxes. That was just a concrete example. The government takes taxes if you work for a living as an employee, and you pay taxes when you are a business owner because America was designed for business owners. That's done, all right? I got a great video I want to show you that deals with the subject matter tonight, wage slavery. I love it. It's inspirational. I like to watch it. So I'm going to let you see it. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a fan of Joe Rogan and his podcasts. And I think this quick video it really encapsulates how I'm thinking and how I'm feeling tonight about wage slavery, because I want y'all to be free. Here we go.
We don't have to have fast food workers. We don't have to have people who work shit jobs. We don't have to. We just need to figure out how to restructure society so everybody somehow or another plays a part, has something to contribute, something to share. I mean, that's what a real society is supposed to be like. And when there's nothing to contribute, then you start looking, the president needs to give us jobs. We need jobs. So instead of something to contribute, you just find something to do with your time. And then it becomes about doing that more than it becomes about finding something to contribute. So society gets wrapped around becoming a part of a machine. Society, instead of becoming a bunch of individuals that are expressing themselves in unique ways, and everybody sort of borrows and shares and sells this and you sell that, and we all sort of figure out how we can contribute in a society, we got sidetracked and diverted into these boxes that they call companies and corporations, and we got stuck in these containers, they go cubicles and offices, and we got forced into this system. So our time, instead of it being invested in making pottery or fixing cars or doing something where you have a passion or some sort of a connection to it, instead of that, you sold your life to sit in a box and work for a machine, a machine that demands productivity, it doesn't want to understand. It has a bunch of very strict things in order to keep the humor at a minimum in the office, just in case one of you fuckheads says some stupid sex jokes to get them sued and it's only $1 million. So get it together, and this is your life now. No natural behavior. Everybody's wearing clothes they don't want to wear. Everybody's showing up and doing something they don't want to do. They have no connection to. That's the problem with our society. And then what's the reward for all this stuff? Go home, get a big TV. Go home, you're going to get a shiny belt buckle. You're going to get a nice purse. You're going to wear shoes that you couldn't afford last week. You're going to get that dream car. And every week we're chasing down this new object. And every week we're trying to fill this hole in this sad shadow of a life that we've been left with after work. That you work 8 to whatever the hours a day plus commuting. And then you're like this. And that's your life. That's your real fucking life. All that other stuff is not your life anymore. All that other stuff is work. And most of us have committed to that. I know you've been there before, and I've been there before. And we understand that it's trapped because we got it. But for the people that are in it, a lot of times they don't even understand it's a trap. They just think it's a good job. They think they got dental. I'm doing really good. And I got my target spots, got my name on it. Just a piece of a heartless shitty machine that makes money.
Man, I think that video is just so inspiring on so many ways. One, because throughout the video from the beginning, he made references to the Matrix. If you've seen that movie, you know that movie is so coded. There's so many messages in the Matrix about our reality, our current situation, and it's so relatable when you think about capitalism and how this system works. But I'll say it again, capitalism sucks in a lot of ways because it promotes monopolies. It promotes basically criminal activity and corruption from the highest levels of government to regulators who are supposed to make sure you don't have contaminated or corrupted food. So, it's really corrupt, but, and this may sound like a contradiction, because America is designed for business owners, you becoming a business owner and in getting involved in capitalism from the perspective of being a business owner is probably the best thing you can do, because this system and this environment was built for people in business to exploit it unfortunately, in this way. If you are on the other side of that spectrum as an employee, you're probably miserable, like he described in the video. You know, you wake up in the morning and it's just like, you know, alarm clock goes off, you know, you take a quick shit, you take a quick piss, you eat a quick breakfast, you get into your car and you ride that iron snake and you rush to work to get there on time. You do your job. And while you're at there doing your job, and I've done this for 20 years before I became a business owner, you are thinking about what you need to do sometimes, most of the time, half the time, when you get home and when you get off work. You think about your vacation, you think about stuff unrelated to work a lot of the times. And then you have to refocus and focus back on work. But the point is, a lot of us are at work, but our mind is somewhere else. And then we leave work, right? 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon and the evening. And we're back in that rush home to eat dinner, to try to spend some time with the family, to maybe watch a favorite show or movie, whatever, to go to sleep, to wake up, to do it all over again. That's pretty much a miserable life. And that is the reason why I started off tonight's video with this book, Slavery by Another Name. Because in a sense, slavery never really ended. It was just expanded to include everybody, not just Black folks, white folks, Hispanic folks, Native American, Asian, whatever your race is in America. The system has designed a reality that is akin to slavery. Now, some of y'all might say, Mike, I love my job. I went to school for my career. And you know what? I'm working in the field I want to be working in, and it's great. You know what? That happened for you, great. Kudos to you. But according to the latest statistics, the vast majority of people who have a 4-year degree or more are not working in their field. The majority. I think the number was like 55, 60%. That's a problem. And that means they're doing a job that they're probably doing for income reasons and not because they had a passion for it in school. Now let's talk about college. Most of us go to college really to check that box. College is like an extension of high school. I got to do it. So I'm going to go to high school because I got to do it, because everybody got to complete high school. If you don't complete high school, you are just a loser, right? That's what they say. And then you go to college and you get a degree in something real basic. I can't tell you how many friends like me that have a business degree. And for years, I didn't have my own business, but I had a business degree. So I was able to run somebody else's business after they trained me how to run their business. But how many people out there have a business degree and don't even have their own business? They're not even working in that field. They're working in a business, obviously, but they're not running the business, but they have a business degree. And in this society, it's regarded as something great, but it's really just another level of high school. Okay. Anyway, with this last exception, I'm going to share my screen and show you why being an entrepreneur is so important to me. See, this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And this is something that if you have a business degree, you've probably seen this before, when you were in college, Let's just start with the base, right? Phyllis, wow, I can't even tell you this word. This is crazy. Physiological, there we go. Physiological needs, food, water, warmth, rest. Basically, food, right? Shelter is warmth, rest. Okay, these are the basics. Food, clothing, shelter, transportation. Safety needs, your ability to protect yourself and your family. These are basic needs. It's right here, right? Then there's your psychological needs, esteem needs, right? Belongingness needs, love needs, relationships, friends, etc. And of course, esteem is like prestige, that job title. Hell, having a job in some cities, right? In the city that I'm from in Buffalo, New York, listen, just having a job is like a big fucking deal because there's so many people that are either underemployed or unemployed or working a job that they can't stand. So they don't even tell you what they do. It's just like, I do whatever it takes. That's what I do. But when you have a job, when you have a title, when you got a business card, that kind of satisfies the esteem needs, right? And then with Maslow and his hierarchy of needs diagram, at the apex of the pyramid, there is self-actualization needs, self-fulfillment needs, achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. This is so important. See, this is the point where the individual is actually doing what they were born to do, doing what they would do for free. Why? Because all of the other needs are met. Basic needs, psychological needs, and now they can fulfill their personal goals, their self-actualization needs. And for some people, this could be painting portraits, landscapes. This could be creating pottery, like Joe Rogan said in the video we watched earlier. This could be doing what you really want to do that you would do for free that doesn't require you to get a paycheck for because all of your other needs are met. So if you haven't seen this graph before, this illustration, this diagram, look it up. It's very, very interesting. From what you need to be happy, what you need to fulfill your needs. I'm going to end it on that note because it's a good time to end it. I don't want to beat a dead horse and, continue to talk about a subject matter that I could talk about for a long time. But I'm just going to focus on the fact that if you are in a situation where you could take the first step to being free from wage slavery, you need to do it. This is that video that you clicked on that you didn't probably intend on watching. That's giving you that extra nudge to do what you know in your heart you should be doing. With that said, I want to thank you for watching the Scott Report. I want to ask you to share this video if you found it interesting, if you found it worthwhile in any way, shape, or form, any part of it. I want to ask you to click the like button. But more importantly, I want to ask you to subscribe and come back. And let's have another conversation about something interesting. And then there's the last point, but this is important. If there's something you didn't like about the topic I discussed tonight or the presentation of it, leave me a comment. Let me know. I will respond to your comment. And you can help me get better and we can present more information. Unless you are an asshole or a troll. If you're one of those, then I'm just going to delete your comments and I don't want to hear it. But if you got a sincere perspective, and when I say sincere, you ain't got to start off by saying sincerely. No, I'm saying just be real with me and I'll make this show better. This program will improve and you can count on me to put out quality material. Again, thank you.